Hello YouTube, it's me Justin. July 13th on a Friday. Friday the 13th. I'm not a big fan, never have been. But I did a video a while back, quite a while back, and I figured I would address the issue again today. And this is talking about gun control and the far left's attempt to abolish the Second Amendment and the ignorance of raising the age limit from 18 to 21 on a long rifle. After the Parkland shooting, governor of Florida, can't stand the guy, I believe, I'm not sure, I have to look it up, if he was able to pass the law that you have to be 21 years old to own a shotgun, a .22 rifle, a long gun. It's just absolutely asinine. For the simple fact is you have kids that move out, conservative kids most of the times that move out at the age of 18, 19, or 20. Or you can send your children overseas to go fight for our country, and our government puts high-powered rifles in their hands to go shoot at the enemy and possibly come home in a coffin. But so that person, that son or daughter goes over and does a couple tours, sees a lot of their friends get shot and killed, comes back overseas and decides to go into Gander Mountain, just say they're 20 years old, or Walmart and go to buy a gun. They're like, oh, no, airsoft guns are down on aisle 13 or 14. You're 20, you got to be 21. That's just ridiculous. I don't know how the law would stipulate that. But now, just say you have your daughter who just got her first apartment, who's 20 years old, 19 or 20, and unbeknownst to her, down the block is a convicted rapist that just got out of prison a couple months ago, and he's been watching her and stalking her. And one night he decides he's going to cut open her screen, crawl in her house, and he's in her apartment, kick in the door, and rape her, possibly murder her, strangle her. But let's redo the scenario. Now she, for a gift, Dad buys her a 12-gauge shotgun, tells her to keep it beside her bed. Well, that idiot cuts the screen, comes in, she hears him, he kicks in the door, and she pumps a round of double-aught buck right in his chest. Problem solved. But no, they're stripping that right from those young adults to protect themselves. So, anyways, it's something to think about there. But if you're a far left, far leaning, hypnotized, libetard, anti-gun, complete delusional, Hillary, Bernie Sanders fan, whatever. I mean, if you have children, it is your duty to protect your children and your family. If you're a husband and you're on the bandwagon, let's abolish the Second Amendment, like a lot of these Hollywood elitists are trying to do, which they're loaded, they're locked and loaded to the teeth. They have bodyguards and all that. They don't want citizens because they're all part of the grand scheme of things when it comes to the New World Order agenda. But somebody kicks in your door, you got 4 or 5 guys kicking in your door, a home invasion, to come steal your goods and possibly, rape your wife or this and that, and, tie you up, and, they don't like witnesses, so they pretty much execute everybody. I mean, there's been horrible tragedies where a couple men have come in and tied up families and raped the daughters and burned their bodies, and just terrible stuff. But if you have this crazy leftist ideology that you will not have any guns and blah, 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 blah. Well, if a pack of freaking scumbag idiots kick in your door, and God forbid they do something very tragic to your family, it's your responsibility, because you chose your ideology over the safety of your family. Because you live in a gated community, let me tell you something about gated communities. Most of the work that we do are in gated communities. People think they're safe. Oh, they got a $8 an hour guy who hates his job, who's miserable, wants to be back home playing his video game, sitting at the guard shack. And then half of them don't know there's always 2 exits in the rear of a gated community for construction workers to go back and forth, because we're beneath the elite people. You know, we don't get to go in and out where they do. We go through the back entrance where there is no guard gate. So don't think you're protected with a gated community. You're not. You're sitting ducks, pretty much. So, but like I said, it's your responsibility. You're driving down the road, you're doing 120 miles an hour and you're swerving all over and your kids aren't seat belted in. You get in a wreck, you roll that car and your kids die. Guess what? You go to prison for vehicular manslaughter, because you're in control of that vehicle. You are responsible for your children, the people in the vehicle. Same goes with protecting your home and your family. So something happens to your wife because of your ideology. Something happens to your husband. Just put it that way, you know. I'm not having any guns in my house and blah, 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 blah. They're dangerous and da, 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 da. Well, most of the time when people kick in a door, they're going to be armed and they're going to be criminals. So, and they're not going to abide by the tough laws that California and New York and Illinois and all that has. You know, look at Chicago. Chicago has some of the strictest gun laws there is. Murder capital of the world. Go figure. You think a felon goes to buy a gun, and where it says, "Have you been convicted of a felony?" You know, you go, "Oh no, that's right. I can't. You know, I can't buy a gun. Shoot, I was going to go rob somebody, but I can't buy a gun. They got strict gun laws here. Well, I guess I'm just going to go have to fill out an application and get a job." It doesn't work that way. Does not work that way. So you got to get out of that delusional fog and realize in the days that we're living in, every American with a brain needs to have some type of home defense to protect your family, protect yourself, your own life. Your life is more valuable than those fools that kick in your door because they need money for dope or this and that. They just want to take. They're evil. As far as I'm concerned, your life is more valuable than theirs. So if they want to steal some precious metals, like gold or whatever, just give them the cheap metal. Just pump them full of lead. But anyways, that's a little bit of my rant. Like I said, if you hate guns and you know, somebody comes in your house and you can't protect them because you think to yourself, a light bulb goes off in your head, "Oh crap, I hate guns. Now would be a perfect time to have one because I could stop this person right now, or these 2 people with just a." But your ideology prevented a legal gun to be in your house. Your ideology. That's your responsibility. So sometimes, you know, you have to bite the bullet, so to speak, even if you hate guns. Go to a shooting range. They're not that scary. Perfect your skills and put the gun away and hope to God you never have to use it. But get over that, I'll never have a gun in my house. Bullcrap, because we're living in a crazy world. And it's your responsibility as a husband or as a wife or a mother or a father to protect your children. Do not let your far left ideology be the cause of someone being able to kick in your door and harm your family, possibly murder your family, or rape your children while you're tied up with duct tape over your face. And you're thinking to yourself, as you're watching such horrible, tragic things happen, if I only had a gun. Anyways, fear no man, never fear death, get right with God, fight the good fight, and always stay locked and loaded, 100%. Later.